Hello and good evening. Welcome everyone. We hope you are enjoying your Sunday. We have everyone here, well, everyone for right now here. And I'm going to let them go around and let them introduce themselves, and then I'll do the spiel at the end because I get to do the fun stuff. So to my right on the overlay, hey Pooja, thank you for coming. Welcome.
On Instagram. And
I need you to do that again because apparently I muted you guys when I went to mute myself.
Oh dear. Okay. Take
Because
two.
I'm a professional.
Hello, I am Pooja. And I'm playing Delmay Ferox. Both of our pronouns are she, her. And you can find me on Twitter at Pooja and in the chat tonight and on Instagram as Pujabberwocky. And more to come on my character and her little pupper.
See, she has wonderful things that might come out. Secrets are abounding. And a pupper, so life is good. And directly below Pooja, hi Alyssa, welcome.
Hello! I assume I'm not muted anymore, but just in case. Hello everyone, I'm Alyssa, or Xander Slamilton, as you see me lurking in things on Twitch and Twitter. I am playing Cecilia Valance. Both of us are she, her pronouns, and I'm looking forward to doing something I do in my normal life, which is just not letting go of a book like it's a safety blanket.
I mean, I've done that. I've done that a lot. Books are important. They can help you. But also people who are wonderful and help out and helped me out with the wonderful fancy design stuff. Realizing that I skipped a step in that design last second. Hey, Lindy.
Hi, that's me. I don't know what you forgot, but how can I help? Anyways, we'll do that later. Hi, I'm Lindy, and I'm very excited to be back for episode 2. I will be playing Revka. She is a fighter. She has some friends in town. And, you know, we're on our way to investigate the moaning farm. So, you know, I think I'm pretty good on all fronts here. Just ready to play.
Always good to have things ready to go. Thank you for being ready. Speaking of, hey Simon, how are you doing? You're muted. Nope, still muted.
I'm
Wow.
doing a bit.
Okay, well, you know, at a certain point, I
Hi,
can't tell
everyone.
anymore.
I know. Hi everyone, I'm Simon at Wondering DM, and I'm super happy to be here because have you seen that awesome intro video?
No, because it's going to be a secret that happens in the near future. Yes, Simon helps.
But yes, hi, I go by Simon or Wondering DM, he, him pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Vishard Dali, who also goes by he, him pronouns, and Asen the wolf, who is quite mute on the subject of pronouns, but I call him my brother, so that's about it. Right?
I can see that. But speaking of fancy, cool things that people have done and have helped out, want to see something cool? Totally hashtag Simon's fault. Check this out, guys. See? My friends do fabulous, wonderful things. Yes, it was. It was very much 90s. But in a good way. In a good way. Thank you, Simon, for that wonderful trailer.
You're welcome.
It works really well. And I will remember to put things in the right order next time. Hi all, I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. Tonight is the Romance of the Blue Rose, with these fine, wonderful folks around me helping me out to tell a wonderful tale of high romantic fantasy with using the Blue Rose age system from our friends over at Green Ronin. Hashtag not sponsored. And we also will see that underneath Lindy, you'll notice that we have our art fund. We are slowly building that up. We will have art for these characters because they are all fabulous and wonderful, and you should definitely see the way these fine folks have conceived of their aesthetics. But if you want to know their descriptions, there's a very handy-dandy button below on the extensions that you can click and gives little bios of each of the characters. That's there. Because they're cool. But
How do we find that as someone who has not clicked on the stuff before?
there is actually a panel that says role-playing. What is the actual word the panel says? It says role-playing.
I think it's just role playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, role play shows.
Role play
and
shows.
there's two of them.
And there are two of
Oh.
them. One of them is for Witcher, one of them is for Blue Rose. If you look
Cool.
underneath, if you click on it, you can click on each of the characters and tab through. You can click on their bios, and there's a short little bio for each of them. Because that way we can share interesting things.
Love it.
Thank you, Cole Drake, for that wonderful support. I appreciate it. But last we left off, in last week's premiere, there were a unit, squadron, cohort of the Sovereign's finest sent to the, well, eastern town of Verdaunen. It is just southwest of the Pavenweald, along the Rose River. Sits in a fork of the Rose River and one of its tributaries. The finest had come because of reports of strange wild magic occurring in the area. There was discussions with a couple locals, discovery of some interesting pigs randomly appearing, interviews with the magical minds of pigs, because that was an extensive thing that happened, which is a great thing about this game. There was Revka's renewing her friendship with two of the, well, one of the farmers and his wife. And then the decision to go out to the eastern edge of town to visit Rodanus and Mildut Nahorn, the farm where there was reports of moaning, perhaps hauntings. And on the way, you all experienced something weird, something different, something arcane, but not pleasant in any way. Well, I shouldn't assume. You've all, between one step and the next, you lost the village of Verdaunen. You were someplace further east, over the mountains towards Kern. The shrieks of wyverns could be heard in the air. The smell of a burning village, the sounds of shattering wood and glass. But as you came to break the tree line where this village should be, you stepped back into Verdaunen and are in front of the, well, about 100 feet from, maybe less, maybe like 50 feet, from the farm of the Nahorn Farm. But what do we see as the camera focuses back in on the 6 of you? 4 humanoids and 2 very large wolves.
Should we go front to back? Like, who's? I guess
Yeah, I
Refka
think
was the first out, and then it was Delme. I remember, if I remember
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was last one
Yeah,
at
you
the
were.
back of the group.
That's what I have in my notes.
Yes. Yeah. So Revka, would be she'd kind of just she took that step back to make sure like it wasn't a spatial thing. It was a more of a time duration thing. Well, to make sure it wasn't like a weird portal thing going on. And it wasn't. So she just kind of takes a few more strides forward to make sure everybody else gets out of the woods and is doing okay. But she looks a little shaken by that.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely has one hand on her flail, which she's not gripping it like she was previously, but it's still there. It's like a safety blanket. But her composure's pretty cool. She just looks a little unsettled, but calm.
Behind Refka, emerging from the woods, you see Delme, who is a tall Verdaunen woman with tan coppery skin and a strikingly silver hair that falls in braids about halfway down her back, and she's dressed in kind of muted earthy tones, but fabric of the finest sort. And next to her you see a very large timber wolf that I don't know how Whisper felt about what just happened. I mean, Whisper's seen some things in her days, but she's about as weirded out, I think, as the humanoids are about what just happened and then stopped suddenly.
And then behind them comes Celia.
Oh, yes. Well, in true Cecilia fashion, internal screaming of this Rachel Weisz-looking tiny woman, and she's immediately going to slip the little notebook out of her satchel and immediately just start in her own shorthand that she has devised for herself, so she doesn't have to take 30 minutes to write down what happens, makes a bunch of notes about what that was, and writes down teleportation magic ? No sign of portals ? Help? And just circles the shorthand for help and then puts her notebook away.
And then behind Cecilia is a man. Oof! Wow, character description all of a sudden flew out of my head. Black beard, not too broad-shouldered, but still well defined under his armor and his cloak. He's currently putting his sword away. And keeping a hand on the nape of the neck of the black wolf that follows him.
And as you approach, it doesn't seem to be anyone noticed anything. It's well, I think Revka and Vashard would have noticed that the time you took to travel through the woods definitely seemed to have passed here. So the sun is slightly different. Not much. I mean, it was only about an hour, maybe 2, right, of travel? But definitely darker. Closer to evening.
So time passed, but distance didn't?
Distance was much slower than the time required to get
Yeah.
here.
Well, I mean, the time and distance that you traveled. Let me rephrase.
It's all timey-wimey.
Yeah, it's all wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
Time is a
That would
construct.
not have
and
taken us this long to get here.
That's my question.
Yeah, it would not have
Yes.
taken you this long to get from the farm
To this farm.
Yeah, from across town from Alfric Bannock's farm to the Nahorn Farm, but the time difference does account for the amount of time that you were walking
Yeah.
in the
Okay,
woods
okay, okay.
somewhere else.
So
Yeah,
we
because
basically
it-
just lost an hour or two.
Of our lives.
Yeah.
Someone just stole time from us.
Yes.
Rude.
I'm jotting that down as well.
Yep.
Wait, you're jotting that down in your notes or something about me?
Oh, I'm taking notes about losing an hour of our time, but no. Nothing about that. Unless you want to, if you want to talk about it, I'm happy.
I'm
we can-
good. The farm is right there, Cecilia.
Do we hear any moaning?
Yes. I'm listening for moaning.
Well, you could both roll a perception hearing check if you wish.
I would love to
Sure.
roll perception because
Perception.
I would like to perceive moaning, if possible.
Yes, please.
If there's not moaning, I might be disappointed, but we will see.
I would like to perceive moaning, but respectfully.
I believe I will also join on the respectfully perceiving moaning.
I'm just
14.
listening for moaning.
I know. Rolled a 12.
15.
13.
13. Cecilia, by the way, you're whispering rolls right now.
Oh, I did not mean to turn that on.
If you just, yeah.
Okay, well,
So, as of right now, with a 12, a 15, a 14, and a 13, all of which are very good successes, you hear the trees, the wind blowing through it, that soft crack of autumn. Remember that smell of fallen leaves on the ground? That almost, for those of you who have experienced it, New England in November scent. November, October. Just this...
What's the season?
Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Right? I understand, but I've also traveled a bit, so I also
yeah.
understand.
No,
But,
yeah, same, but it's just funny.
What are seasons? They don't.
Yeah.
Hot and slightly less hot for 3 months. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like
no.
imagine it's summer, but there's no heat. So it looks like it should be warm, but it's not. I think it's the best I can.
It's okay. I have spent fall in Europe. It's okay. I
I
get
mean,
it.
that's close. A little different, but close.
I went to Niagara Falls once in October.
That counts. That counts. You have that smell, that scent of falling leaves, that crispness in the air. And there's just this hint of a noise that goes through the wind. One could call it moaning.
I'm very experienced with moaning noises. Is this moaning?
Revka, I feel like with that 15, and you have 6
Yeah.
stun points, could
I
you
do.
roll me and do you have an education?
I have historical lore.
You have historical lore.
That's my only intelligence thing.
Well, just roll me a straight intelligence then, because, you know.
Sure. Let's 12. That's pretty good for me having 0 intelligence.
Yeah, no, actually, that is actually a really good roll on the dice. You're pretty aware. You know some things.
Mm-hmm.
This moaning would not what you would be calling pleasurable or enjoyable.
Oh, it's that kind of moaning. Okay. Cool.
It's more of a ghastly moan.
Or like a in pain moan?
So like a moaning
like a tortured
myrtle.
moan?
A
A
little
moaning
closer to
myrtle.
a little
Yeah.
closer to a tortured moan, but
Mm.
also still like that tired sound of a moan of someone who is given up.
Ah.
That's not
Despair.
a moan, that's a groan.
No, there can be moans.
It depends what they've given up on.
That's
Like if it's like
also-
this is the 6th round of the night, like I'm giving up. Like
You know, when you put it that, you know what? I changed my stance. Thank you for that argument.
So yeah, I'll make note of that and be like, huh. Do you all hear the moaning?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. It checks out.
I'll if everyone will let
But
me.
it is not the kind of moaning I think that the was implied by the getting her title. Because I don't want to get her. Strange if this was newlywed couple moaning.
Revka, can you open the door?
Yes. She'll do the knock first because it's polite.
Mhm.
Knock, knock, knock. She doesn't hear anything. And she'll try the handle.
The doesn't seem to be anyone coming to the door. There's no reaction to your knock. There is the handle is unlocked.
Yeah. Oh. This is not a great sign. I swing door open.
It's darker inside. There are no lights lit. There's no fire. There's no candles or sconces of stones emitting magical lights. There's sunlight coming from a couple windows, but it's that sunlight of the last setting of that sun, the light fading. You can see the refractions of the sunlight.
Cracks?
think
I'm
we lost-
wondering.
Oh,
Nope.
she's back.
There
It-
we go. There we go. I know what happened. Sorry. You can see the refractions of the light.
We might have to
Well-
go on break, everyone.
At least she's in a nice pose.
Give me about 2 seconds, guys. We're gonna fix this.
Sweet.
Give me a sec.
1,000.
Hello. We are back. I believe. Are we there? Yes. There we go. Okay. It doesn't seem like there are any problems. Okay, I fix it. Yay! Alright, so we're... Oh yes! Stained glass window. Sunlight. Sunset. Going through the stained glass window. Making pretty refractions all along the stairwell of this 3-story vestibule. Well, 2-story and then the tower, so kind of go with that. But there doesn't seem to be anyone here. Or no one's reacted to you coming in.
The moaning came from upstairs?
You didn't quite hear...
Have an origin?
Yeah, it didn't have an
Yeah.
origin, it was just there.
Okay.
Sort of generally like
Around the house, around you.
Yeah, okay.
Can we try to listen for origin for the
Sure.
sound?
If you would like to. You could either use perception hearing or... yeah, perception hearing is probably your best.
I don't know
I'm
why I
looking
keep wanting to do
around,
this.
seeing if there's been
I'm terrible
signs
at
of
this.
a scuffle.
Okay.
Or if there's dust, like if this place hasn't been used in a few days or whatever.
That was
so
terrible. Annoying.
That's what I'm doing.
So that would be a perception searching.
Not perception seeing.
You can use perception seeing.
I am using my eyeballs.
You are using the eyeballs.
All 2 of them.
I'd be concerned if you had more than 2.
Oh, can I get the doggo? Can I get my little wolfy wolf involved here
Yes.
and ask Whisper, hey girl, do you know where it's coming from? Can you tell? And actually, I'm gonna have her try to smell for people.
Okay.
Since I failed hearing, I don't want her to.
I was going to ask Asen for the same thing. Like, is there like a help mechanic? Can Asen help Whisper?
There is a help mechanic. Technically, Asen it's based on your relationship intensities and strengths of your bonds.
Ah.
Because the help mechanic actually gives stunt points without actually having to roll stunts. So you don't need to roll doubles to get stunt points if you see someone that you have a relationship with and you wish to give them stunt points. It's equal to the intensity of your relationship bond. However, the puppers have pack tactics. So yes, they can work together and they can both roll and then we take the higher roll.
Sweet. Smelling?
Your choice, smelling or hearing.
Smelling or hearing, Bouchard?
I was going to go for smelling. I wanted him
Yeah.
to smell for the living.
Okay, smelling it is.
Not a good smeller, 13.
14 for Whisper.
But you've got 5 stun points.
5 stun points.
Yes, 5 stunt points. So 14 and 13. Ooh, that's very good. You can actually use exploration stunts if you wish for the puppers.
Yeah, they're not... Are they in the handouts?
The exploration stunts, they should be.
Because I see combat and arcana right now.
Great. I'll fix that later.
Sure.
I can look them up too.
They're on the
Yeah.
page 130 or 3 stunt reference. Page 374 of the book.
There we go.
Role-playing stunts and exploration stunts.
Yeah.
There is that makes me wonder. You can make another perception test to discover more information. Or speedy
How
search.
about? Do we want the upper hand? I don't know if we're gonna get into combat, but that seems like fun.
If something happens.
Yeah, then we get +3 on initiative.
I'm good with that.
Sure.
Okay. So for right now, you have a +3 for initiative. We'll hold that for the scene. Going forward, make a note. Your puppers, both Asen and Whisper, kind of begin fanning out. This is... Think of it like a old school colonial, like Virginia colonial, large entryway in the middle, living room, sitting room off to the left, a dining room off the right, a passageway that leads to the back, a more informal space behind the formal living room, and then the kitchen behind the dining room with connecting doors between both of them. The stairs up, there's an open landing. There are a number of rooms upstairs. And there's another stairwell that leads up to the top of the tower where this rose window is, with an open landing kind of at the top of the stairs with like a little sitting area in front of this rose stained glass window. You move the dogs, or the wolves, excuse me, they're not dogs, they're wolves. Their senses are better. And these wolves are more intelligent than normal dogs anyways. They've been psychically bonded to the both of you for a period of time. A number of years, at least. They move in tandem through the lower floor. There's a moment of... They're trying to find something, and right now they're not. There's nothing there. You move through this space, and Revka, you were looking as well and kind of searching. There doesn't seem to be any signs of a struggle.
What about dust?
There does seem to be a
Signs of-
lot of that.
That's interesting. I'm gonna look for ghosts.
Can I go up to the stained glass landing and look at the actual window and that sort of area?
Yeah.
I have an investigation skill that I would like to put to use if at all possible, but it's under communication and I feel like I'm going to get docked for that.
What investigation skill would you like to use?
Well, I'm trying to... I mean, I suppose I can't really use the power of deduction by talking at this window. So I just mostly want to look around that whole area. I'm looking for anything especially that, like, gives us a sense of who these people are/were, and also if it's possible that the stained glass window is a source of any kind of arcane power.
Would you
Those
like
are
to...
my main two lines of inquiry.
Okay.